I'm Will O'Neill, Editor-in-Chief of Tech Radar, and today I'm here to talk to you about the iPad mini with Retina Display. First things first, it's important that we establish exactly what this thing is called. Technically, it's the iPad mini 2 with Retina Display, but Apple, it seems, just wants people to call it the iPad mini. For the sake of this review, let's just call it the iPad mini. We were surprised when Apple announced the iPad mini, coming with things like the A7 chip under the hood and a 128GB iteration to satisfy folks who crave a lot of HD content. On top of that, there's the much needed Retina screen, as the name obviously might have told you, an improvement in battery size to help keep things running as well. However, there's the big issue of price. No matter how much you like the look of the iPad mini, you have to factor in that it will set you back nearly $400 for the lowest spec 16GB model with Wi-Fi connectivity only. Consider the rivals, and you'll see that Apple has a real fight on its hands. Google's 7-inch Nexus 7 is around $230 at the same spec, and Amazon's Kindle Fire HDX starts at the same level, although you'll have to put up with the ads to get it at that price. The iPad mini is an excellent device. There's no other way to look at it. We were really impressed with the original mini a year ago, but bemoaned the low-res screen and the underpowered chipset powering things along. So we fully expected this iPad mini to be another sidekick to a bigger brother. And with the iPad Air showing itself to be the best tablet on the market, we thought we'd be getting a smaller iPad with a Retina screen and an A6 chip. So the decision to make the tablet 64-bit enabled with the latest A7 CPU is a really great thing to see. The design of the iPad mini was great already, so much so that Apple scaled it up and used it on a larger version. It's back in an almost identical form here, but seems less likely to chip and still wows us with the all-encompassing aluminum design. Battery life is strong, the A7 chip works in a robust fashion, and the Retina screen, while massively overdue, is clear and crisp. While it's slightly unfair to compare Apple to Google or Amazon, who both sell their devices for cost or slightly under to engage users with their ecosystem, Apple is using that normal route of charging a bit more to make a profit. As well, they're forcing you to use their ecosystem, of course. But that doesn't detract from the fact that you can buy a Google Nexus 7 for 25 to 30% less than the comparable 16GB or 32GB option from Apple. And that increase in price to improve the amount of storage on board has no justification. It's a shame because otherwise this is a flawless tablet. You might get a little annoyed at the colors not being as vibrant on the screen as some in the competition, but we can't really call that an issue. The storage issue should also be noted here as it's linked to the price. Where you can buy versions of the tablet that will have more than enough space for your content, the 16GB option isn't really enough. The iPad mini 2 is almost flawless in so many ways. The rich app catalog means it's a device that will grow with you, and the 64-bit A7 chip and Retina display are certainly future-proofing users from an outdated device. The design is still best in the tablet category, with perhaps only the LG G Pad 8.3 coming close. On top of that, iOS 7 is at least a step forward, and finally being able to see things in the clarity that they deserve is hugely important. Even gaming is sensational on this tablet, which is essentially all the first mini should have been, and a little more. For the full skinny on the iPad mini 2 with Retina display, be sure to read our comprehensive review.